Hi, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to think a little bit about our theory of leadership. On OWLS, we spent the last couple of weeks learning more about the theory of leadership. First, just so we have a common language as a team to think about our own leadership and reflect on the type of leadership required given the work that we do. This past week, we spent a lot of time thinking about systems change and getting really curious about systems change. And what I'm excited about for in the next year is the role our team can play in fostering learning around systems change, especially by taking a deeper look at the places across the country that have seen really rapid progress for kids, from our partners in the academic community, the research community, through our own research on our contribution to progress in different communities, through our support of the org-wide strategy and looking at the type of measures and metrics that tell us some really meaningful things about what students are learning, and bringing that to more of our teachers' classrooms.
The work that our team has been doing around strategic clarity and the 6 questions with regions has been really steeped in the theory of leadership. Everything from thinking big about systems change all the way down to when you're thinking about question 6 and the role that our core members and alums need to play. We've been referencing specific practices and sub-practices and really living into the theory of leadership.
On OWLS, we're also working to develop measures of the theory of leadership that span the entire participant journey, from applicant all the way to alumni. And this project is really promoting systems learning as regions and national teams can learn from the leadership development across the entire participant journey. But it's also going to promote the learning of our participants themselves across all 3 spheres and all 3 practice areas to ensure that we are rapidly developing leaders that are going to get us to our mission and our vision.
The Alumni Data Project, we had to look past the alumni survey and think about the shifting landscape of our org-wide strategy and the digital strategy. I think of these as like 3 trains moving on parallel tracks. Our job is to build a vision and a strategy that's nimble and flexible, but also aligned and can move with the learning that we get over these years, as well as maintain the relationships with the numerous national and regional teams that have a stake in all of these projects. Because at the end of the day, we want those 3 trains to merge onto a single track and become one long train, and not end up crashing into each other or just getting out ahead of one another.
Center for Excellence in Adult Learning's certification program is bringing the TOL to life in all 3 of the spheres. There's potential for development of the self, of groups, and at the systems level in the ways that the PAL pillars might push somebody to reconsider their own mental models, the ways they're orienting towards others and the work. In the self sphere might push people to consider how groups work together, the ways they communicate, the ways people manage groups, and also in the systems sphere, the ways people think about what is my seat and role and the potential to impact the system more broadly given this PAL lens that I'm applying.
In FY19, we piloted the Learning and Innovation Incubators, which are collective learning experiences where regional and national staff come together and try to develop and test a solution to a shared problem. The main purpose of the incubators is to bring people together so that they can continuously learn about this new solution that they're testing and they're developing. And we think that that's a really great example of the group learning practice. And we really try to ground folks in the incubators in the most important problem to solve, which we think has a lot of overlap with the strategic action group practice area as well.
The Texas professional learning community really leaned on some robust student outcomes data to try and figure out what worked and didn't work with our program. We all know that there's variability within our different regions, so we leaned heavily on the relationships between the regions to engage in a learning community that ultimately drove towards systemic change in our programming that we can have stronger and robust impact for our students and core members.
Another project that we're working on OWLS that supports the theory of leadership and specifically the systems sphere is our new digital workplace. This digital workplace is going to allow our staff to both collaborate and learn from each other and create a culture of sharing both from our celebrations and our failures and understanding more about what does work and what doesn't work to accelerate the pace at which we can innovate and work towards one day.